Hey everybody, it's Summer with the Life, Love, and Money Show with
Jen. Hello.
Hello everyone. We are going to be talking about today how to overcome the holiday hogwash. Jen, what's hogwash? Do you know what hogwash is?
It's funny. It's one of those words I hear all the time, but wait, why don't you tell us what the definition is? It's such a funny word.
It's so funny. So it's basically, the hogwash is like the lies that we tell ourselves, the nonsense that we believe. So essentially, what we're talking about here is how to overcome those lies, that nonsense that we kind of take in every day and go, oh, is that real? Should we believe that? Should we do that? Should we, and then we start feeling pressure, right? And we start feeling more angst. So we're going to talk about 3 during the holiday that are really big: idealism, consumerism, and unrealistic expectations. So I'm just going to dive right into idealism, and then maybe you want to piggyback off on me, Jen. That would be great. So
definitely. Let's do it.
Here we go. Idealism. So idealism is really believing in or pursuing some perfect vision or belief. Oh my gosh, who has been there? I know we've all been there, right? That we want things to be perfect, or we envision or idealize something that's going to be exceptional, or we think about it a certain way in our brain, right? And about what the outcome's going to look like. We always do that on one of those romantic comedies, right? Like, they're going to end up together.
Oh, yes. And if you've ever planned a wedding, you've been through this.
Right? Exactly. That whole idealism. So right now, during the holidays, a lot of times we buy into that idea of pursuing perfection. Perfect tree, perfect layout, perfect family gathering. Get rid of it. Just wash it away, because seriously, folks, there's going to be those little nuances, those little things that are going to come in and kind of like maybe put a wrench in something that you really thought was like, oh my gosh, this was supposed to be perfect. And you really don't want to set yourself up for failure, because really idealizing something and the reality of what it is can be so different. So really just give yourself a break, have some grace, and get rid of that whole thought process of everything is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Want to add to that, Jen?
I so agree with that. I think when you set yourself up like that and have all these expectations for everything to be perfect, I think we need to just stop and ask yourself, why? Why are you expecting that? You live on planet Earth. Nothing is perfect. There is going to be so much room for things going wrong. I mean, even one of the laws of thermodynamics is entropy, where things just tend to randomly go into disarray. And so I'm like, come on, that's a theory. I mean, that's a law. It's a law. So it's like, even if laws can prove that things are going to naturally go into disorder, we, like Summer said, give yourself some grace and take that moment to realize, like, if it doesn't go the way you originally planned, that it's okay. For me, when I think about these, like, it's the holidays that we're talking about, but anytime it's been some kind of special occasion, a party, or whatever the case may be, you have to realize that you're going to do the best you can with what you have at that moment. Mm-hmm. And for me, one of the things that helps is everybody okay and safe? And is everybody having fun? Is there enough food? If it's like the basics are covered, you'd be surprised that most people tend to be more forgiving than you. Because I get it, you're the host, but if everybody's having a great time, try to take note from that and pay attention, join them, relax, be present, because really it's you that everybody wants to be together. And if you can enjoy sort of company, that's so much bigger. That goes so much further than like, oh, the candles are perfect. And it's beautiful, credit to you. But when you really come back down to what is really the important thing here is that you're having a good time and creating memories. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I can think of so many different times I've been in, the most simplest gatherings, and it was the most wonderful memories. So give yourself that grace, because you so need it.
Oh, absolutely. So let's jump into consumerism. Now, during the holidays, we get overwhelmed, overloaded with commercials about consumerism. Buy this, this is half off, this is great, this is your buy now. So we hear all of these messages, and it really is the idea of increasing the consumption of goods and services. Boy, howdy. this is a time of year you will be inundated with those messages. So pull back and realize, is it really about the goods and services that you want to kind of pull and get and receive? No, it's about family. It's about making memories. It's about all those other things that really are more meaningful. Right, Jen?
Yes. I want to add to this from the financial perspective. So, when you create your goals, when you look at the list of the things that you're trying to achieve as a family, as a couple, or maybe just you as an individual, whatever situation you're in, it's so important to have those goals, because if you don't have those written out, if you don't review those, if you don't even know what you are trying to strive for in the near future, short term, long term, whatever it is, that is what helps you get derailed. Because you don't have this thing to focus on. And so it's very easy to get caught up in what we're talking about here, the consumerism, where, I need that. No, you don't need that. You want that. You want that. And so when you don't have those goals to focus on, it's very easy for us to, get deterred and go, oh, wait. And then what ends up happening, you get the next statement, the next bill, and then you're like in this crappy place. You're just like, oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I've had friends somewhere that go like, I don't know, I bought that. I think I might have to return everything. And I'm just like, not only did you buy all that stuff, but you wasted all that time going to all these sales and taking the time, because even if you don't even drive anywhere, it takes time. Because trust me, there are times when I'm like spending so much time on Amazon, spending so much time looking at online, looking for coupon codes. Like, it's not physically driving, but there is still the cost of your time. So just be careful that you don't get caught up in it. Now, again, if you need something, fine, and there's a deal, great, go for it. But when we get caught up in the consumerism, check yourself and ask yourself, you know what? If I do this, is it going to take me towards or away from my financial goals? And when you can focus on those goals, it'll kind of help keep you in check. Like, wait a minute, if I do this, it's going to set me back. And if we're trying to make progress, you're going in the opposite direction. So let that be something that guides you. And if you haven't done your goals, make sure you write that out so that you can have something to focus on and then carry you into the new year on a good note.
Right. Oh my God, such great tips. We have one more area to go over very quickly. This is called Unrealistic Expectations. Unrealistic Expectations. And you can kind of compare this with idealism in a way, right? But unrealistic expectations, really, those are the expectations where they're so far out, so wide that they're just not real. And who has been there? Who has been there where we've had these just enormous thoughts of, like, I wouldn't say grandeur, but like expectations of, wow, that is going to happen and everything's going to be great. And, oh my goodness. And so when that happens, we become more reactive, right? And rather than responsive. And what we want to do is shift our thoughts. We want to reframe these unrealistic expectations into something more manageable, more edible, bite-sized pieces, right? And so what you do is you really want to be, and to do that, and the result of that will help you be more responsive versus reactive. So planning versus impulsivity. Planning. Even Jen just talked about that and touched on that regarding consumerism and how you plan your finances, plan your goals. That sets you up for response rather than reaction. And so planning is really important. Know that you can't account for others' behavior. And that's really important during the holidays. When you're having those family gatherings and you bring family together, and you're idealizing, you have these expectations, it's going to be amazing. And yet something in the conversation triggers somebody, and then all of a sudden it has a domino effect. Remember, you can only control what? Who?
Yourself and how you react to everything.
Right. Respond versus react.
Respond, don't react.
That's right. And so tap into, also, here's another tip, tap into your triggers. If you know that during the holidays, something's going to trigger you, be prepared. Understand how you're going to respond to that trigger. If you know how you normally react to a trigger, plan for a better response. Plan for a better outcome regarding that trigger. And then again, Set realistic and manageable and achievable goals during the holidays. Be kind to yourself. Remember, align your vision with your values about the holidays or every day. Really, and when you bring those things into alignment, what your vision is and your values, trust me, it makes life so much more meaningful and so much more memorable. Anywho, Jen, do you want to finish off?
Yes, I have such a simple tip. This one's huge. One that can help with all of these things, especially the last third point that we were just talking about. And that is rest. This is a time of year where it's so stressful for everybody. And this is the time of year where everything just feels like, oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I gotta go here. I gotta do this. Oh, I have to. Everything is like, I have to. And I want you to stop and ask yourself, do you really have to? So as Summer was talking about these unrealistic expectations, ask yourself, who's putting that on you? I think that's something that we really have to do some self-reflection on. Is it your family members? Is it in-laws? Who is putting these expectations on you? Is it yourself? I think that's even a bigger thing, because if you're the one that's trying to be perfect and expect everything to be perfect, ask yourself, well, why is it that you're asking yourself to do this? Like, why are you putting yourself up to this task that it has to be so perfect and having all these unrealistic expectations? So that's one thing that I want you to reflect on. And the other thing too is make sure you get some rest, especially the day before the planning and the all the time, whatever those gatherings are going to happen, because we got Thanksgiving, we got Hanukkah, we got Christmas, we got whatever you celebrate. Make sure you get some rest, because there is a reason why the word slangry exists. You are angry and because you're sleepy. And I mean, we've all been there where you're more irritable because you didn't get any sleep. You're like edgy because your body is literally like dying and deprived of rest. That is a huge thing that's going to help you be energized if you get some rest and you eat. Make sure you eat. There's so many people I know that are so busy. I hear this all. I eat a lot. I don't have this problem. I never have this problem. I eat too much. But I hear a lot of people say, I was so busy, I haven't eaten all day. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I need that problem. It's like, but that's the thing that, be aware of. Are you eating? Are you at least grazing and eating some, snacks or something and getting some sleep? Because that will help combat you getting irritable and slangry and annoyed with everybody. And that is going to help combat you being very reactive. So make sure you're getting rest and sleep and give yourself that time to step back and have some self-care. It is going to make a difference. Like, don't you just feel don't you feel different when you just get that sleep?
Absolutely. And those are some great tips. So thank you, Jen, for wrapping that up. So if you've missed anything here, we've talked about how to overcome the holiday hogwash in relation to idealism, consumerism, unrealistic expectations. Go back and watch it. And remember to subscribe to our page. All right, everybody, have an amazing day. Take care and ciao.
Bye.